What's up out there, YouTube? Double D here with Tournage Dubois. Welcome back. So, as you all know, I've been shop building for a while, so I got to miss out. Didn't get to, but I missed out on the last month's YouTube cross-channel challenge put out by Will Simpson over at Will Makes Everything. Link to his channel right up here. At any rate, what we are working on today is going to be my YouTube cross-channel challenge for Mimic for the month of May. So, looking forward to that. First off, I want to give a shout out. Wheels Dan over in the UK does some amazing stuff. I'll put a link to his channel right up here. If you don't subscribe or haven't looked at his work, check him out. He does a lot of really cool things, not just woodworking, shop builds. He made this amazing workbench with a flip table portion in it out of metal for his chop saw that just blew my mind. He just does some amazing stuff. So once again, check out Wheels Dan if you have not. So like I said, today for the project, we are working on our YouTube cross-channel challenge for 2021 for the month of May, put out by Will Simpson over at Will Makes Everything, and the challenge was Mimic. So I did a little bit of looking, and as you all know, I received a whole bunch of exotic spindle pieces from a flute maker through our Wood Turners Club for a flute maker who had passed away from his family. So that came up to be available, and I was able to purchase some of that and got some amazing stuff. However, none of it was really labeled really well. So for example, this is what this one is labeled at. I'm not sure. BM 1019-93 1 of 1. Nobody really knew what that was. However, we got a secret decoder ring, i.e. PDF file, that documented it. This is commonly known as Black Morrell, which the technical name, as I'm looking on Wikipedia, Eucalyptus melanoxylon. I don't know if I pronounced that, if I put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable, but it is often known as Black Morrell. It's a species of small to medium-sized tree that is endemic to Western Australia. So, ironically, I just picked this piece up and was trying to figure out what it was, and that's what I came up with, but it fits in perfectly with what I want to make. So, I have taken this one spindle blank, I've cut it into two pieces, and I'm going to turn 2 morel mushrooms out of these pieces. Never done it before, never tried it before, so let's see what happens. Why not, right? Alright, so we have our Black Morrell blanks, and so we're just going to put them in the chuck jaws here. Never done anything like this at all. I know a lot of people do turn mushrooms. I don't know that they necessarily turn a lot of morel mushrooms, but there's probably going to end up being a little bit of carving or something in there in this. So let's see what happens. right, so we have that cut into our shape. So what I'm going to do is sand it up, and then I'm going to get my Dremel out and start doing a little bit of that. For those of you that are wondering, I am going to be wearing my awesome pink respirator, the same one I used when we painted the shop, because sanding is not something you want in your lungs.
One eternity later. Alright, time for some of our good buddy Brad's abrasive sanding paste. So I do need to be somewhat careful with this because I don't want it to build up in the grooves that I just put in, but I also want to get it good on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the abrasive paste, and then we'll just take our time and clean it all off, make sure there's none down in the grooves that we carved, and then go on from there. So we'll get this parted off and we will get our second one underway. Probably skip through most of the second one because the process will be similar, but I am thinking about maybe doing a little bit of an eccentric turn with it. So we will see. If I decide to do eccentric turn, I will show you some of that. So the first thing I'm going to do is get it rounded off, and then I will do a flip over to a little bit of eccentric turn, potentially, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I'm going to try this. What I'm going to do first of all is I'll do a little bit of cleanup cuts, and then I'm going to sand from here down. Then I'm going to move it just a little bit to get this at a slightly different angle, and then turn and sand that portion. because getting this back in to lined up is not necessarily going to be the easiest thing. Alright, so we got that ready to go. I'm going to start sanding this at 120 grit. Could probably go up to 180 to start, but I want to hit it with the 120. So there's a little tiny bit of groove marks, or tool marks right on the stem here. So we're going to sand up to about here, get that sanded all the way up. Then I'm going to do a little bit of a tilt to it, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we've got that sanded up to 400 grit. We're going to hit the base part with the Brad's Abrasive paste, and then we will do our eccentric turn. And then once we're done with that, then we will get out the rotary tool and get it all marked up. So I'm just going to finish this one just a little bit differently than the other one, just because I had another idea while I was thinking that through and what I want to do. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen the chuck just a little bit and then twist this off to the side. And as you can see, that's now off. So we'll turn the rest of it that way. I'll bring that tailstock up just for a little bit of extra comfort in this. Alright, I went back and smoothed that up just a little bit just to get a better finish. Took out one little tool mark that was going around there, so now we'll get the sanding this up, and then we will carve this as well. Alright, we have that sanded up to 400 grit. I did smooth off this lip just a little bit, and we're going to hit it with our Brad's Abrasive paste and go from there. So, for those of you who are interested and have not gotten to try out Brad's Abrasive paste, there is a link down below in the description to his Etsy store where you can get some. I think it is great stuff. I will say I do like doing these eccentric turns. They're a bit of fun for me. All right, so I'm going to part that off, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it inside, and I'm going to paint it, the lower portions, black. Okay, so I'm going to hit that with my sander, and then like I said, I'm going to go in, I'm going to paint these, and then I will be back to do a wrap up. Be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's take a look at the final product. So what we have is we have 2 morel mushrooms. I did not bore you all with all the sanding, of course, as I skipped through it, and then the painting. But 2 morel mushrooms made out of Black Morrell wood out of Australia. I'm super happy with how these turned out. Having never done a mushroom before, I figured I would do a morel mushroom rather than the typical capped toadstool type mushroom that most people turn. Having done a little bit of eccentric turn on the second one, I really enjoy that one too. It gives a much more unique look. So I think I met the criteria for the challenge put out by Will for last month. Due to the shop build, sorry about the delay on getting that done, but wanted to get that taken care of and get that one knocked off the list. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it the thumbs down. But either way, please leave a comment down below. I do read and respond to every single one of them. Every one of them is greatly appreciated as I am learning and growing on my journey in this woodworking world and pastime. So loving every minute of it so far, and we're going from there. If this is your first time here, you haven't subscribed before, please consider doing so. It's free, but that way you can get notifications every time I upload a video, which I try to do weekly. As you all know, the YouTube cross-channel challenge videos that I do are being donated to charitable organizations to use for fundraising. These 2 pieces, just like the February challenge of flour, are going to Shy 38 Incorporated. I'll put a link to their Facebook page down below, as well as some basic information about them. Great organization to support as an animal rescue, and I like being able to give back. So lots of fun. I hope you enjoyed this video. So we got another project in the books, and we'll catch you next week.